The problem is generally not the problem. The problem is generally not the problem. It's how we perceive the problem that generally creates the problem. You might have heard a similar quote on Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp. And it was such a beautiful quote because it's so true. Our perception is generally what makes our problems throughout the day. Our perception of whether something is scarcity mindset or abundance. So if we look at a situation and it causes stress for us, it might not always cause stress for someone else. And if we can look at something and say, would everyone perceive this as stressful? Or if we could even stop, pause, and say, what's the opposite thought of this? Are my thoughts true? This is a huge concept that's presented in the Yoga Sutras. And it's not to say that our thoughts are wrong, but that we should question them. And we might question them and agree with them, or we might question them and just gain a new perspective. That anytime we can entertain multiple perspectives, such as putting ourselves in someone else's shoes, we can begin to become more compassionate as well as build our awareness and our mindfulness muscle. So, yesterday we practiced the loving kindness meditation, or also called the metta meditation. We were allowing ourselves to see people in front of us and we were sending them peace, love, and happiness. Now, to do that and to build up that mindfulness muscle is when we can really start to make huge shifts within our own life. Because we can start to realize that when people react or people do things that often stress us out, that it's not always about us. That sometimes they're just reacting from their own stress and their own pain and their own experiences. They're reacting from their own perspective. And so that their perspective is becoming the problem. And there's nothing wrong with their perspective. It's just that they are functioning from a different place than we're functioning from. And so we are not in alignment. So today, our goal is to start noticing if someone says something to you that feels like a problem, or if someone reacts a certain way, takes a certain tone, anything of that sort, that instead of saying, like, they're attacking me, let's think they're in pain, that they're perceiving something different than I'm perceiving it. And that may be true and it may not, but we're at least going to practice entertaining that thought. That instead of being mad at that person, we could instead maybe feel bad for that person. To say, oh, I'm giving you sympathy, I'm giving you love. That the root thought is, with scarcity and abundant mindset, that everything comes from fear or love. So anything that's not a loving response would be coming from some sort of fear. And it might be a deep-seated fear of not being enough, not fitting in, not being right, feeling embarrassed. And so noticing what it is that they might be feeling so that we can take the shift and take the focus off of ourselves and more of giving compassion. So finding our meditation seat, whether you'd like to sit on the floor, lean up against a wall, maybe you'd like to sit in a chair. And for some people, there's that debate on laying down for meditation, which can be done, but generally for our meditation practices, we are sitting up. And then tomorrow we'll explore a little bit more of Yoga Nidra, which you can do laying down. All right, so we're finding our seat, and I always find it's best to set the intention of being in meditation with 3 deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you release that jaw, see if you can release in the back of the skull. Pushing breath out like you're fogging up a window. And then just notice any tension in your body. You might give a little sway side to side. Maybe move your neck. Again, we can keep repeating those 3 deep breaths. Just allowing ourselves to really tune into this concept that the problem's not the problem. Nothing is good or bad. Everything is just a perception. We perceive everything based on our experiences. We react out of love or out of fear. Most problems stem from not feeling enough, not feeling belonging. So tuning in and tapping in to that feeling of love. We react to someone who is reacting. We respond with love or we react with fear. We take this time within meditation to practice holding love when things are calm, so that when things do get stressful, you can continue to respond with love rather than react with fear. Filling up with love, feeling enough, feeling worthy, feeling a sense of belonging. And that the earth is our home. A home that grows food, provides light, that we are safe. We are physically safe. We are emotionally safe. We are mentally safe. Notice if any of these don't feel true, that it can alter our perception at any time we don't feel safe in one shape or form. We might shift into reacting. We want to practice being love, giving love, receiving love. Love as a sense of openness. Love as a sense of freedom. Love as a sense of respect. Love as hope, trust, faith. Love as being fully present in this moment. As we sit here for another 2 minutes, just allow yourself to redirect. If the mind wanders, you can bring it back to the word love. You can bring it back to your breath. Or you can utilize any tools that we've learned so far. Notice if your mind has wandered. I am love. I give love. I receive love. And we'll take our 10 breaths. 1 breath is an in and an out. And just place your hands on your heart. Notice anything that is blocking you from being love, from giving love or receiving love. Notice that today and throughout your days, that any time that you feel the need to react, that you're tapping into this feeling and noticing where it is that you're not feeling loved. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes as we take our big stretch, opening up, and then bring it back in. So again, the big focus today is noticing our reactions, but also noticing when other people react as well. So we can identify that reaction for ourselves and for others. And then we can begin to shed some compassion on it. We might give them this energetic hug and give them the space to be heard or felt. Maybe we give them some encouragement, something that makes them feel like they're safe, that they're loved. Make them feel heard. It's often said that people remember us based on how we made them feel. People remember us based on how we make them feel. So notice how you're making other people feel. How are people remembering you? Notice your reactions. Your reactions can show up in many different ways. Our reactions can be things that come out of our mouth, but our reactions can also be the things that we put in our mouth. Or maybe we constantly reach for the device when we start to feel a tinge of discomfort within us. I know I often find myself do that. Even when I'm sitting in meditation, I suddenly have this urge, oh, I need to check my phone. I'm like, no, I am meditating right now. I'm not checking my phone. And so just to be able to bring that awareness and be able to catch that is a beautiful thing. It's building your mindfulness muscle, and it is part of the practice. Thank you for joining me on day 9 of our 10-day meditation challenge, From Surviving to Thriving. I will see you tomorrow for day 10.